My wonderful, sweet baby dolls and baby Kates. And of course, shout out to the baby carrots out there. Crypto is going to keep growing. How high is it going to go? I hope it hits 10 trillion. I kind of don't think we will hit 10 trillion though. Let's get excited for today. Let's talk about the total crypto industry. We peaked at around 3 trillion American dollars in the 2021 bull market. We had 0% rates. We had infinite QE. We had Elon Musk shilling Bitcoin, shilling Doge, buying Bitcoin with Tesla. We still only hit 3 trillion. Bitcoin could have hit 100K. Now around 1 to 2-ish trillion. We're hovering around. Where are we going in the future? Let's look at what the other market's doing. Right now, the world stock market is about 120 trillion. Super important to know this. Stocks equals 120 trillion. Gold, let's say 11 trillion. Let's just make it 10. Let's make it 10 nice and round, sirs. What about bonds? About 100 to 200 trillion. Very hard to tell. What about commodities? Commodities, very interesting. When we look at gold, it's about 2.1 trillion. No, sorry, oil. Oil is 2.1 trillion, but remember, it comes out of the ground. That's the market cap of all the barrels. What about cash? Free floating in the whole world. This is insane. There's like 90 to 100 trillion. Let's just write 90T. This is enormous compared to crypto. Our industry, crypto, only is 1 to 2 trillion. We're nothing. We are tiny. You know, property, the behemoth, property is like 200 trillion. Look at these numbers, man. We are tiny. Let's freaking pump it, friends. We are so small. How high are we going to go? It depends, though. There's a caveat here. You see, why I'm sharing this with you is because it's good to keep us bullish, but also we've got to stay grounded. What I mean by that? Well, real-world assets are coming in from Bug Eater DeFi Chainlink. It's going to help enable that. RWA, real-world assets. Lucky you've got a friend who you like, subscribe, belly button, or I've made videos on this specifically to talk to you about real-world assets. Unfortunately, real-world assets bridge other commodities and assets and treasuries into crypto. We don't actually make anything. It's good to bring the rails on, but it's not the same as creating the Ethereum unicorn, the Bitcoin unicorn, Uniswap, the original real DeFi Uniswap version, Bug Eater Chainlink, and all the complexities that they're all being able to enable. It's a different game. I still think we're undervalued though. Even though the future might entail the market cap of crypto growing to trillions and trillions of dollars, but not from blue chips, but instead like the onboarded traditional finance assets. Even though we might get that, we're still undervalued. It's going to take time to get long-term holders to sustain the price higher. They need to really believe in it. They're only going to believe in these higher prices if we actually get more applications put in, more people using it, which is what's going to happen. When they see it, they start believing, and then they don't want to exit the system. But then we have a new problem. JP Mosquito, bzz, bzz. Bank of Ants, Golden Slugs. How are they going to adapt? They're trying to crush crypto. They're trying to kill us. They need to get their tentacles in, and they're trying to desperately. That's why they are using fake DeFi MetaMask and fake DeFi Uniswap and other avenues like fake DeFi Matcha. They are using these avenues to try get in. What if they can't get in fast enough? They might just do an outright ban. I hope it doesn't get to that. For now, we're super bullish. Before there is any cause for concern, we get the exit pump. Retail mania come in. Infinite QE. I've got to remind you, don't forget this. You're going to forget it. I know you are. I know you are. Don't lie to me. As soon as the green candles come, you're going to throw it all out the window. I promise you, these are euphoric. These send you into a trance. These make you think differently. Green after green after green. Look what happened in 2017. Look what happened, man. You had, this was April 2017. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green candles. But then guess what? Look what happened. A red candle appeared to reset everybody. I know a lot of people sold the low here. I was not in crypto in 2017. But I've seen many influencers talk about their experiences. A lot of people actually capitulated here. They just got out the lows. But look what happened. Next month, full bull reversal. 1, 2, 3. is very dangerous. We get more bullish as humans as the candles keep going green. The combination of green monthly candles. They have the power to resurrect everybody from the dead. But also they put everybody into a lot of trouble. Hot water. Because we put on more leverage as things keep going up. We leverage everything. You're not going to make that mistake next time though. That's why I have to focus with you. Infinite QE only sent us to $3 trillion last time. We are going to need more crypto dApps. We are going to get them. Remember, we're focusing on the application layer. There was gaming, metaverse, NFTs, layer 1 chains. There was fake DeFi and real DeFi too. All these other seasons that were appearing. How many of them lasted? None. They might be around, but the price has dropped so much you don't even care. So when people do the next reiteration in the next bull market, they're probably just going to slap on new logos, new tickers. The only things that really held were Bitcoin and Ethereum. There was also BNB. We don't know about that because they were probably using profits from the exchange to rotate in. Now it counts technically. It's just that we can't verify it. Mr. Johnny Sachs saying, it's hard to imagine mainstream, widely adopted applications that require censorship resistance. It's hard to imagine it, but if someone does it right, you're going to do it. You're going to use it. You're going to appreciate it. He also says dApps are not the answer. The answer was still the same, that it's always been in crypto. Adoption, that's all. Got to remind you as well. So there's a lot of words thrown out here. Adoption has already been funneled in for Bitcoin store of value. That's why we're diminishing now. Bitcoin has 219 million people in. Total crypto has 419 million people. People already appreciate and value censorship resistance, immutability, decentralization, all these buzzwords that we know. People are already in. You already know it. Bitcoin used to be 1 cent. Then it went to $5. Then it kept pumping, right? 20,000x, 600x, 100x, 20x, maybe 5x in the next cycle. The market is pricing in this. We are continuing the law from Satoshi, but don't for a second think like, that we haven't priced any of this in. Roca Negra ETF, all of these. We've been told about these for years. There's now futures. There's indexes. We are going along the maturity of this asset class. Look at this from Mr. Relative. The last of ass. The lust of ass. Oh, look at this guy. Oh, I love you guys. You know what? We're going to crank it. We're actually going to crank it.
Bizarre objects in the universe.
I'm going to give you this word of warning. 99% of people, they are telling us to avoid leverage. But this is the interesting part. All those people telling us to avoid leverage, friends? They actually have a 10x leverage home mortgage right now. They will be pitchforking politicians in the streets if they let interest rates stay too high for too long. All these people saying, you know what, I don't think crypto is going to go to 5 or 10 trillion. I think they're up in the la-la lands. These very same people are mortgaged up. They are leveraged. They are turbo long. They need everything to go up. We want everything to go up. We kind of need it for our sanity, but no, these people actually need it. Like there's financial, legal ramifications out there. It's very painful. Divorces happen. A lot of painful things happen during these times. People unfortunately take their own lives. This is what happens in recessions. And it's tough because, in crypto, we always say, well, what were you doing 10x leverage long? You're an idiot. We say that. It's a meme. In property, we don't say that. In property, no one ever says, well, they do, but you get hounded for it. People say, well, why were you 10x leverage long property? People don't say that. They go, what do you mean? I had no choice. The bank required a 10% deposit to get the mortgage. But no one ever says, why did you get the mortgage? You shouldn't have got that 7 years ago, 6 years ago. See, it's not socially acceptable to say that, even though we know financially and mathematically you're meant to say this to make people think. Don't forget, property has the weakest hands due to leverage. I've specifically shown this to you because whenever I talk about Bitcoin going up and whenever we talk about the total altcoin market cap or total crypto growing to this size, As you can see right here, whenever we speak about it, there's always the topic from property. Why? Property have the largest number of people in with the biggest leverage. It's in property. People think, oh, crypto's leverage. No, it's not. What? A third of the $1 trillion of money in crypto is leverage? That's 300 billion. How many people do you think are leveraging property? You do a third of that. 60 trillion with a T. Compare 300 billion to 60 trillion. That's not even in the same ballpark world. So property is an enormous risk factor, always. And the people who are in it, they don't see that it's risky. But you don't really blame them, because when you haven't seen the charts, all they can see in their mind, they go, well, property, we make money off people. There are always going to be people. People will always reproduce. There's always immigration. They'll always need a place to stay. They need to pay for a roof over their head. There's always a living cost. We are always going to be protected. These are the cope stories you're going to hear on the way down as the cycle plays out. As Wall Street cheat sheet starts playing out for property copers. What you're going to start hearing, look at this, friends. See this complacency part? Next one. Anxiety. Why am I getting margin called? See, this dip is taking longer than expected. You can rewrite that as the US Fed pivot is taking much longer than expected. I thought it was going to be a rate cut or 5 by now. Plenty more. What's going on? Then they'll hit denial. This is going to be rough. I'm going to be able to point this out. I guarantee it's going to come my way. Denial. Now, in the Wall Street cheat sheet, we say my investments are with great companies. They will come back. But what are they going to say in property land? They're going to say, well, my houses and my property, they rely on people, and there's always going to be people in immigration, right? They're always going to keep coming in. There's always going to be a demand for it. Very important point. Everything has a price. It doesn't matter that you have the underlying demand. There are still fluctuations of the fear and greed of the cycle. That's why you've got to be super careful with these. I appreciate that real estate and property people are turbo bearish crypto still. I really do appreciate it. And just to let you know, a little bonus Easter egg, okay? I know, I've seen posts on CoinFresh Direct and many others. I actually know people firsthand. They sold their crypto around the top. Ethereum, okay. I know one dude in particular. There's many stories like this, by the way. Sold their crypto up here and bought, 1 or 2 mansions. They cashed out. They paid a lot of taxes. They got their 2 mansions. Now, here's the thing. They can't get back in. With their cash savings, to get back in, they need Ethereum below $500. And they got to liquidate some stuff. So now they're bag holding big property. Well, it's funny. They bought the top. So they're already down like 10%. But it'll be interesting to see how this thing plays out. Because it's going to be fascinating for us to look back one day and go, wow, the people who cashed out in crypto and bought real estate, they got wrecked because they bought an illiquid asset that they could not use to then rebuy in the bear market. Instead, they are now trapped. And they were coping and begging for like a $300, $400 Ethereum for them to buy. It'll be very fascinating if crypto goes up as real estate adjusts down. I don't even know if that's possible. We don't have enough data points, but be on your toes. Make sure you stay away from leverage, fans. Don't forget, US Fed has one goal: to destroy retailers. They've got to get retailers to crack. And what does that mean? That means everybody's liquidating their same paper hand assets at the same time. And guess what? All the paper hands, they're in real estate. Make sure you like, subscribe, belly button on. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Tell mom and dad, be careful of property, please. See you soon.